Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and anyone and everyone that wants to rip and tear them on the ring. Welcome to a new video where I'm going to be showing you guys my first impressions of the new game that's out now on the Epic Game Store and on pretty much all the other platforms out there, Rumbleverse. Now, I've been keeping a close eye on this game, mostly because it is a battle royale that encompasses wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan and a gamer. It's basically a match made in heaven for me. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about my first impressions with the game, areas where I think the games can improve, and overall, would I recommend it to you, especially if you're not even too keen on battle royales. Let's get into it. First off, let's talk about gameplay. The gameplay itself feels so solid. You only have a few select moves at your disposal, such as your basic combo attacks and a fierce attack with your middle click. As you can tell, I've been playing the game on my mouse and keyboard. Haven't really played the mouse on controller, so don't know quite what the controller controls are like. But if you do want to tell me about the controller controls, let me know in the comments if you've tried out the game yourself. But the cool thing about the gameplay is that although it feels really good, really easy, and pretty straightforward, there is a ton of combo potential here, a ton of mix-up potential, and a ton of brilliant melee combat design in a battle royale, which really strikes me. With this great gameplay, you're going to have a lot of fantastic times with 1v1 battles. 1v1 fights with someone else are just as crazy as if you're having a fight with 5 people all going at it at once, especially when it gets near to the end of a game where, as a battle royale does, the ring slowly shrinks, making the map smaller and smaller and smaller. When you have a tiny arena to fight in and there are still 10 people alive, it's chaos. And I freaking love it. This game is also a very lovely change of pace. Because the only way to fight in this BR is with melee combat, you are forced to get in there and get your dukes up against other players. The good thing is as well, you're highly incentivized to get fighting as soon as you can, because the more you fight, you build up an XP bar from what I saw in the bottom right hand corner, and once that XP bar goes up again and again and again, you end up unlocking perks. And the perks help you fight better, so you're actively encouraged to keep fighting, which is a really cool idea of how to do perks. I enjoy that. It's gameplay focused. I will also tell you right off the bat, if you are a fighting game player, like you dabble into the worlds of Tekken, Street Fighter, or any other fighting games out there, this may be a battle royale suited for you. Don't forget, the game is developed by Iron Galaxy, the same Iron Galaxy that brought back Killer Instinct. And if they can do that to Killer Instinct, imagine what they've been able to do in a battle royale where you wrestle each other. It's really nice. Heads up to Iron Galaxy for that. I have, however, noticed, playing with a keyboard and mouse, there have been a couple of problems I've had that I do wish to talk about. One of the most glaring issues, and bearing in mind, this issue that I'm about to talk about only really happened 1 out of 10 times, so it was rare, if not very rare, but when it happened, it was devastating for me when I was in the middle of a firefight. So the problem is, I would be walking around whilst consuming an item, whether that item be one of your buffs, or whether that item just be some chicken to heal yourself up, and whilst I'm walking around holding down W to move forward, all of a sudden, after I finish eating the chicken or drinking the drink, I would just stop. I would immediately stop as if the input on my keyboard cuts out. And then I would try to turn left or turn right in order to go in those directions. And of course, my character looks that way, but I'm not moving that way because my forward momentum is completely gone, even though the input's still there. That was so weird, and I hope that gets addressed. Also, one big word of warning if you are going to jump into this game, because it has a lot of focus on melee fighting and getting in there, it's going to be punishment heavy. And what I mean is, you can whiff your combos and you can use the wrong skill at the wrong time, leaving yourself wide open for any and all attacks to come your way. This game is punishment heavy. If you cock up, you are going to feel it. So if you are not a fan of getting bodied because you made mistakes, guess what? you might not like this game because this game will get you angry. It gets me angry a lot, but it mostly gets me angry because I'm the problem. The game isn't the problem. God damn it, game. I can't blame you. Now, the game also features a pretty nice character customizer as well. You got all these different body types for yourself, 3 different body sizes for the males, 3 body sizes for the females, such as big and bulky, thin and lanky, and chubby chub. The nice thing is as well is that none of the outfits, none of the hair pieces, and none of the eyebrows or face construction options that you have at your disposal are gender locked, meaning you can have any combination of anything on anyone. If you want a guy with pom-poms, you better rock it. Or if you want a girl with long dreads, you can rock it as well. The outfits that are currently in the game as well do look and feel great. You unlock new outfits or potentially unlock new outfits as you level up in the game. There will, I'm very certain, be outfits as well in the Battle Pass, but as I'm doing this video, the Battle Pass is actually not released yet. So if you do want me to review the Battle Pass and how the Battle Pass system feels and how it works when that comes out, let me know in the comments. Hi Hizzle, ladies and gentlemen, this is Editor Sploder here. So many days after I recorded that, the Battle Pass is out. I've been playing with the Battle Pass, and if I dare say, the Battle Pass is actually pretty good value. You have 2 different price values that you can go in on. The first at the lower price just gives you the Battle Pass and you can just start it right away. The other one, at a slightly bigger cost, which was about £15 in my currency, will take you straight up to, I believe it's level 20 or level 25. And give you a bunch of starting items to start out, as well as fame boosters that will give you additional fame build up as you play more games. In my personal opinion, the Battle Pass is really, really fun, and it looks like a really great Battle Pass in comparison to, let's say, Halo Infinite. So if you do want to go into it, I recommend it. Back to video me. I will say as well, the storefront items, like the microtransaction outfits that you can buy, are also pretty darn great. They're really nice. They seem to rotate on a weekly basis, so if you don't like one, you can wait until next week and see what gets rotated in, which is pretty nice. However, it's a little bit skeptical on the price. I mean, £15 for a pigeon mask is a little steep. But yet again, you gotta bear this all in mind. The game is completely free. You do not need to put a single penny into it whatsoever because the pennies are put towards fashion items. So with that in mind, the game needs to make money somehow. And if you do like the game and if you are playing the game religiously, why not slap a little bit in? I think I will give it a little bit more time because I'm really enjoying this game. You got some really nice fun emotes as well. I don't know whether it's because the game is so high octane and fast paced that I don't see anyone using emotes in the game, or whether it's just because I'm not running duos and maybe they're used a lot more in duos. Although the emotes are great, I pretty much see no one use them. Don't know if that's a problem with the game or a problem with the player base. But if you're going to add emotes and no one's using them, maybe wasted direction, I don't know. As you are playing the game also, every single day you get brand new challenges to complete, and these are really straightforward and simple. There are ones where it's just leap a certain amount of distance, counter so many moves, block so many moves, do so many moves. They're very straightforward, very easy to do, and they're a great incentive if you don't have a lot of time. You maybe only got time for 1 or 2 games to pump into on that day, and you can easily at least get your challenges done for a good amount of fame used to level up. There also seems to be weekly challenges that'll be coming in also, but they're currently not in the game as of me making this video. Hello, it's me again. So the weeklies are now available, and they're very similar to the dailies. They do require just that little bit more effort, so you're probably going to be playing a bunch of games rather than doing 1 or 2 to get the whole batch done. But you know what? Still really fun, still really engaging. Great stuff, Iron Galaxy. Back to video me. And we get into another glaring problem that I have whilst we're talking about the main menu character creation side of things. The UI is a little bad, and it's very clunky on keyboard and mouse, at least from how I feel about it. It's a little bit all over the place, and I mean, I don't like the fact that in order to exit the game, at least on the PC version, you don't just press the escape button and then there's a little box that comes up with, are you sure you want to leave the game? Or anything like that, and with a yes or no prompt. There's nothing like that whatsoever. You hit the escape button on the main menu because you want to go out of the game. On the main menu, it then takes you to the settings menu when you press escape, and then there is a quit button in the bottom left-hand corner that you can either click or press Q. Now, the funny thing was, when I first played this game and I wanted to quit out of it, I was stuck in the game for what seemed to be half an hour just trying to work out how do I bloody close the game without opening up Task Manager. So maybe you can improve on this, Iron Galaxy. Maybe there's a way where if you hit the escape key on the main menu, it just brings up a "are you sure you want to leave" option prompt. That would probably work a lot better. I don't know whether you could translate that onto the console versions as well. I don't know if the console versions are the same and you have a similar quit button of that kind. I actually don't know. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you've experienced it. But it's just... a bit of a weird choice. The other weird choice in the game, and this isn't really a criticism of the game itself, it's more so a criticism of how Epic Games have done their Add a Friend feature. So in the game, if you've played a game and you want to add someone that you've recently fought against, you can bring up the menu, add them as a friend, and you're good to go. Pretty nice and easy. But what if you already have friends that you want to play with? If they're not already friends on your Epic Games Store app, then guess what? You're going to have to load up the Epic Games Store app in order to add them as a friend, then you can play with them. That's right, there is no way in-game to add friends apart from fighting them first. Are you kidding me? You can't have an overlay like we have in Steam if you want to just add someone as a friend if you don't have them on your list? You don't have anything like that whatsoever to make it easy? Just a simple in-game overlay for Epic Games? Why? It's cumbersome, and it's cumbersome enough with Fall Guys, and I thought Fall Guys was the only way. I understand as well, this is probably linked to the Epic Games games that also have crossplay on all the platforms so that everyone can play with everyone. I completely understand that. But when it's this cumbersome, it puts people off. If people have to literally load up an app away from the game in order to add their friends to then be able to play with their friends in-game, that's not intuitive. That's really bad. I know the developers will probably have no control over this and it's down to Epic. So Epic, if you're watching this, fix this. Also, let's talk about matchmaking while I'm here. Matchmaking has been incredibly hit and miss. Sometimes I've waited for about a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I've jumped straight into a game. The great thing about this as well is that when you get into the game, whether you get KO'd early or you end up winning the whole thing, you can queue for your next match right in the games. You can spectate the rest of the game whilst you're queuing, and when the queue procs, you can just jump straight in again. It's actually really nice, so then I don't have to bump all the way back to the menu just to get back onto the matchmaking ladder again. The ladder just keeps on going, and I highly recommend doing that if you are just going to play a bunch of games back to back. But with that in mind, I have noticed the matchmaking has been... sometimes it's been about 1 minute to 2 minutes, other times it's been 5 minutes, which is a bit of a red flag danger zone for me personally. Sometimes, and I've heard this as well from people I've spoken to on my other platforms, links in the description by the way if you want to totally join in on the conversation there, some people have been waiting 20 plus minutes at some points just to get into one game. 20 minutes in a game with crossplay that I know isn't dead. We know ain't dead because it just came out. And it has crossplay on all the platforms. People are playing this game. Why is it taking sometimes 20 minutes to matchmake and still not get you into a match? Now, in fairness, and I must say this, Iron Galaxy have been doing really well to create hotfixes and patches to make sure that the matchmaking system is much more up to date and ready for a lot more people and a lot more matches, which is fantastic. So as I'm releasing this video, chances are the 20-minute matchmaking may be a thing of the past. But if it's still there, I'm still going to criticize you on it. So please, get on that. That could be a deciding factor for a lot of new players out there. But I guess the good thing to circumvent that, I've never experienced any proper in-game lag, which is amazing. I have noticed for sometimes it's jumped a little bit. And again, this may be linked to keyboard controls. I don't know if it's the same with controller controls, so please let me know in the comments. But there have been some cases where I've gone to use a move, be it on my mouse or on my keyboard, and I push it. You can see that the animation is going, and then halfway through the animation, my character resets the animation. Out of nowhere, as if I half-pressed the button. Now, the problem with this is, I know I haven't half-pressed it. There's no way I've half-pressed it. So if my animation resets when I'm about to clobber someone, guess what? They're gonna look at me and go, "Oh, it's fair game now, boys," and start bodying the living daylights out of me. It's not very good. Hasn't happened a lot, so I want to emphasize that. Definitely has not happened a lot. But when it does happen, it's really bad. Make sure the input doesn't have lag of any kind, or input delay, or just dead inputs for no reason. It's kind of glaring when it happens. Okay, so let's try and wrap things up here. Overall, Rumbleverse is an incredibly fun battle royale, and I highly recommend it to people that want to get into battle royales, but may be intimidated by the likes of Warzone, and may be done with the likes of Fortnite, and quite frankly, especially Warzone. I mean, it's still bug-ridden and full of cheaters. Ugh. And the fun thing is, this game has so much potential, with new costumes, potential new map ideas I can already think in my head, and even crossovers. I would love to see if this game manages to get a crossover with the likes of WWE, AEW. Hell, it's a big of a push. Maybe even get a collab somehow with Kinnikuman from Japan, so we can get Ultimate Muscle in a game where you body the living crap out of people. If I can walk around as Wally Tuskett from Ultimate Muscle, you have just made yourself a sale. Get on this right now, Epic and Night Galaxy. I'm hoping for you. This game, Rumbleverse, is a huge recommendation from me. Massive seal of approval for how it is at the moment, and also bearing in mind the fact that Iron Galaxy are doing a lot of great work updating the matchmaking, like I said earlier. It is a great game to get into if you are a fan of battle royales, a fan of wrestling games or wrestling in general, and even fans of cartoony art styles where you just want to see hilarious people beat each other up in hilarious ways. It's super fun. Now, because it is a battle royale, it still won't necessarily be for everyone. If you are just an adamant I can't play BRs kind of player, then don't worry about it. I completely understand where you're coming from. It's another battle royale, so it may not be for you. But this is what I recommend. If you're a little bit on the fence about it, I do plan to stream Rumbleverse in the future over on Twitch. You can join me on Twitch all the time on every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday for even more fun times. And when I am streaming Rumbleverse, you can join in or just sit in the sidelines and watch the gameplay, and obviously ask me any questions about the game whilst I'm there to see if it is a game for you to warrant trying out. Plus, do not forget, the game is completely free. You do not need to put any money into the game right off the bat. So even if you wanted to try it, play it for a bit, and it's just not your thing, at least you tried it, you can then uninstall it, and there's no monetary loss at all. So there's no excuse. Give it a shot. With all that being said, those are my first impressions and talk about Rumbleverse. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you want to keep the conversation going, like I said, join me on Twitch sometime. But at the same time, also join me on my other social media platforms, including the Discord server where I'm the most active, where you can kick off conversations with me, as well as everyone else who is a member of this explosive community. If you also want to see more Rumbleverse content in the future, let me know in the comments. I already have planned a few more Rumbleverse videos, so stay tuned for those. But until next time, guys, have a fantastic day and have fun out there in the world of Rumbleverse. Stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. And I'll be seeing you guys next time. Time to get my wrestle on. Bring it!